All right, this book is the Medieval Irish Apocrypha, and it's at Sacred Word Publishing. I asked them to bring it back on his website because a lot of people on my YouTube channel asked me to have it be available because it wasn't for a little bit, and it's such a powerful book. So many amazing things in this book I can't even tell you, but this part might have to be two parts. It's called the Chalice used at the Last Supper. The chalice which the apostles brought from Veronica's house was wonderful and mysterious in its appearance. It had been kept a long time in the temple among other precious objects of great antiquity, the use and origin of which had been forgotten. The same has been in some degree the case in the Christian church, where many consecrated jewels have been forgotten and fallen into disuse with time. Ancient vases and jewels buried beneath the temple had often been dug up, sold, or reset. Thus it was that, by God's permission, this holy vessel, which none had ever been able to melt down on account of its being made of some unknown material, and which had been found by the priests in the treasury of the temple among other objects no longer made of use, had been sold to some antiquaries. It was bought by Seraphia, was several times made use of by Jesus in the celebration of festivals, and from the day of the Last Supper became the exclusive property of the holy Christian community. This vessel was not always the same as one used by our Lord at his Last Supper, and perhaps it was upon that occasion that the various pieces which accompanied it were first put together. The great chalice stood up upon a plate out of which a species of tablet could also be drawn, and around it there were 6 little glasses. The great chalice contained another smaller vase. Above it there was a small plate, and then came a round cover. A spoon was inserted in the foot of the chalice and could easily be drawn out for use. All these different vessels were covered with fine linen, and if I am not mistaken were wrapped up in a case made of leather. The great chalice was composed of the cup and of the foot, which last must have been joined onto it at a later period, for it was a different material. The cup was pear-shaped, massive, dark-colored, and highly polished, with gold ornaments and 2 small handles by which it could be lifted. The foot was of virgin gold, elaborately worked and ornamented with a serpent and a small bunch of grapes, and enriched with precious stones. The chalice was left in the church of Jerusalem in the hands of St. James the Less, and I see that it is still preserved in that town. It will reappear some day in the same manner as before. Other churches took the little cups which surrounded it. One was taken to Antioch and another to Ephesus. They belonged to the patriarchs who drank some mysterious beverage out of them when they received or gave a benediction, as I have seen many times.